I want to hear what y'all think about this because this is truly an ethical and moral dilemma that I'm not finding myself in, but my friend's girlfriend is, and I don't really know how to say this properly. So my friend has known this girl since they were kids, right? They grew up together and they've been dating since middle school. Childhood friendship turns to a long lasting relationship, right? They're both in their mid 20s now, late to 20s now, and they recently got married. Now, here's the dilemma. His girlfriend, respectfully, or now his wife, right? Uh Man, I don't know how to word this, bro. She makes very, 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 very questionable decisions. Let me add another hint. Okay. Both of them, my friend and his wife now, were in special education classes throughout their whole middle school, high school, elementary school, whatever. And as far as I'm concerned, what he told me specifically, they have a learning disability, both of them. They're both autistic as well. But now, his now wife, she is not very independent due to her autism. So she needs supervision oftentimes, right? I've met her a few times. She's a sweetheart. She's so nice. But sometimes things are just like, huh? Like you ever see someone do something and you're like, huh? How does this even remotely make sense? Like what? Like usually you can understand why someone's going to do something if you highly disagree with it. But the thing she does is like, what was the motivation to doing this? How did you even think this remotely made sense? I'll list some examples, right? She was riding her bike up and down the block with her dog on a leash, okay? And she's doing it in the middle of the road. And she got hit by a car. The bike broke, but the dog was luckily okay. Now, why are you riding a bike up and down a busy road with the dog on a leash? On a leash that extends really far, so the dog, it can go really far away from the bike. And dog could have gotten hit. Like you barely even know how to ride a bike as a grown adult. So you doing this on a busy road? Like I don't know. Okay. Another example. I'll use the dog again because it will lead to the main problem I'm gonna talk about later. She was eating grapes, right, and decided to leave a bag of grapes on the bed, and her dog got into it. I don't know why you leaving just grapes on the bed, but in an open baggie. Okay. So, grapes are extremely toxic for dogs. So they had to bring the dog to the hospital and the dog had to get its stomach pumped and this and that. The operation cost about $2,500 and they couldn't afford it. So my girlfriend and I helped pay the expenses. You know why she doesn't have $2,500? Because she is an undocumented immigrant. She can't even get certain jobs. So her hustle is like, she be doing like side quests and stuff. It's weird. Like she be telling, I be hearing like she cleans someone's like gutter randomly. It's like she can't get a job. It's just, she does hustles where people just pay you up front and there's like no contract or anything. You get what I'm saying? So we're concerned, and her husband is also concerned, that due to the climate of America right now, she is very highly probable for deportation. She has no paperwork and she's off the grid essentially. Final example of something confusing to me. Her husband's cousin bought her a car from, I don't know where. I think some shady person. I think he stole the car. I'm going to be 100 with you. But you know what I'm saying? I think he really stole the car. But they got it. Well, I was told they got a cheap Honda for $400. I don't know who's selling a Honda for $400. That's a steal. Again, I think he stole it. Whatever. Well, once she got the car, she started complaining about how bad the car is. Like, yo, at least it works. At least you got a car. Like, stop complaining. But actually, first of all, see, this is what I'm talking about, where her husband and her both have very questionable decision making. Why'd you get her a car? She doesn't have a license. It expired. So she's driving around illegally. And you just helped her get a car? Anyway, she got the car, right? And she was driving. And her car stopped because it ran out of gas. So she wasn't paying attention. The car got no gas now. All right. So she doesn't realize that. And you know what she did? Instead of calling for help, she emptied her water bottle into the gas tank. And when that didn't work, she put another water bottle into the oil tank. She put water into the gas and the oil tank. And now the car is completely broken. Why would you put water in the oil? Anyway, these type of events and rationale and choices she makes are very consistent with her. Okay, this isn't just rare things I'm bringing up here, these examples. This is almost like daily situations. Completely questionable decision making. Now, since you understand how serious this is about her mental space, right? This is where her husband's mental space, right? I still call him my friend. You know what I'm saying? It's still a friend. I just don't really talk to him that much. Anyway, so I get a call from my friend, right, who is the husband, and he says she's pregnant. And here we go with the Aku anime. Y'all know my favorite emoji that I do in real life. When he said, "Oh, she's pregnant," this was my face, and then I was like, congratulations and this and that, right? So, I had to ask, so was this, and did you guys purposely try to have kids, or like, is this an accident, or was this intentional? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's pregnant. I mean, but it just, sometimes things happen, you know what I'm saying? But he says, no, it was an accident, but she wants to keep the baby. And my face went right back to the emoji face. She wants to keep the baby. So I had many thoughts about this. I was talking to my girl about it too, and I want to know how you guys feel. I said, this is something I'm very uncomfortable with. Look, I understand when people say, quote, her body, her choice. Right? People say, her body, her choice. She can do whatever she wants. It's her body, right? Yeah. Out of fairness, she can barely take care of herself. Also, she has a high risk of being deported any moment now. She has no money. She can barely make proper decisions for herself. And the dog she takes care of is like, I don't know, every day I feel like the dog is about to lose his life because she's doing something ridiculous. Also, see, I feel like if I say anything about her having autism, people are going to get offended in the comment section, act like I'm ostracizing or saying that people with autism can't have kids. I never said that. I'm not insinuating that. I got to call a spade though. She can't even take care of herself, and her decision making is destructive. It's not just bad, it's destructive. She's not a bad person. She's a sweetheart. I said that. But she makes decisions that are life risking. So I'm going to say it, and I'm going to be 100% here. I don't think it's fair for the child. Again, her body, her choice, right? Like, we're going to do all that stuff. Like, I'm not going to tell her what to do. Remember what I said? I just said congratulations. And I just asked a question. Okay? I didn't say, yo, you should. I'm not even going to say, go there. You don't say, but you know what I'm going to say next, right? But bro, this isn't the time. I'm not saying there will never be a time for her, for you guys, but she has complications that I think won't have fair or good outcomes. You almost lost your dog several times now because you're not even remotely a decent thinker. Like, you continue to do things that show you're not very good at making protective or safe decisions. And I'm not trying to see it. It's hard to have this conversation because it feels like I'm reducing her, right? Like, I feel like I'm like looking down. It's not that. It's just this. I just don't think having a child is okay right now. But again, this isn't my relationship, nor is it my decision. But I think I'm allowed to have an opinion. My girlfriend feels a very similar way about the situation. You know what I'm saying? But, she obviously, as a woman, she feels a bit more compassionate. She says, like, we should see how it goes and what the progress is going to be like. And you know what? Yeah, what else are we supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? We should see how the progress is going. But, maybe I'm just not meant to understand this. I just don't feel like this makes sense. I know you want to keep the baby because, you want to start a family, and that's just, you want to be a mother and everything. But, but does that mean that certain people don't deserve the chance to be a mother because they have learning disabilities and intellectual disabilities and this and that and social disabilities and all this stuff? Like, you got no money to take care of this kid either. What's going to happen when you get I don't even want to say when you get, because I don't want to put it in there. What's going to happen if you get deported while you're pregnant? What's going to happen if you get deported after you have this kid? What's going to happen to the kid? What's going to happen when you're pregnant and you get deported? Like, what's next, bro? Like, you have no money to take care of this kid either. You can't even get an actual job. Like, if you get sent back to your country, where are you going to go? Like, for real, like, you don't have people down there. You don't have family down there. So why do you think it's fair to bring a child into this world in these circumstances, And see, some people will take this the wrong way and be like, Aku, you being toxic and blah, blah, blah. Every woman has the right to choose what she wants to do. You shouldn't tell people not to do certain things because everyone deserves a chance to have an equal opportunity. Bro, I'm not even arguing that point. The point is, I just feel like this is not the right time. That's my opinion. Not me making a decision for anyone. So all I can do is just support their pregnancy and my friend. But whatever. Like I don't know. Like I'm genuinely worried about my friend's future. He's able to take care of himself. Yeah, sure. He has a learning disability. He also has autism. Okay, but he's functioning. He's very high functioning. He's just, it is what it is. No one could be perfect, but like I don't know. She's just like, wish for the best. You know what I'm saying? If there's consequences, then there's consequences. I don't want to wish that upon her. You know what I'm saying? Bro, unfortunately, it's going to involve the child who's completely dependent on them. Is that fair to the child? The baby can't just be born and start taking care of itself. You know what I'm saying? And make decisions for itself. Like, what are you going to do? Like, I guess she's not thinking about that, but maybe I'm being a jerk. I don't know. What do you guys think? This episode is found on Spotify and YouTube. I'm out.